Hey friends, welcome back to Castro Valley News Live. This is our live slash call-in show that we'll be doing probably semi-weekly, probably weekly. Just a really cool thing to allow us to be kind of interactive with you guys out there, and a cool way for you guys to even call in. We have a phone set aside, so if you want to call in, feel free to do so. And I'll give you the number in a short while here. Um, the topic that I want to bring up here is the topic that is kind of not kind of it's top of everyone's list. It is the thing happening in not just Castro Valley, but it's happening across the United States, across the world. We're all dealing with this virus that that has really touched every aspect of life. Um, as of today, we are Alameda County and a number of other um, counties in California, in the Bay Area, Contra Costa, Marin, San Francisco, San Mateo, Santa Clara counties, and the city of Berkeley. Um, it's a legal order that we are in a shelter in place, and it's in place so that um, contact will be limited, so that this virus can be slowed down. It's from what I understand, from what I've heard in numerous news reports, it's about 10 times more. It can be spread 10 times more than the normal flu. Unfortunately, we're all kind of grappling with kind of this situation that we don't really know a lot about. Um, and unfortunately, what's happened, the kind of the position that we're in right now is not a lot of folks have been tested, so we really don't know kind of the breadth of how many people really have it. I think that shelter at home I think it's a good idea. It's let me One of the things that I really wanted to mention here is California is having such a tough time with and these are things that I think a lot of us, these things that have happened are things that we've just never seen before. It's like these are things that we kind of see in a movie where we're being told to stay at home, and we're uh it, it, it's 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 just kind of mind-blowing. It's a lot of people are just kind of gobsmacked at what's happening, but I think it's a good measure. I think we need to make sure that it doesn't spread anymore. And unfortunately, like I said, we're in a position where we really don't know who has it and who doesn't. Um, I'm sure there are some families out there who have family members, maybe friends, who they're going through the high temperatures. I know someone who is, they believe this person has the virus, and unfortunately, there's not a lot of tests going around, and we don't know who has it, and we don't know who doesn't have it. But like I said, and I apologize, I got kind of sidetracked with a different thought there. California is just having a tough time. There's so many things. There's a number of things that have happened that it's like from a movie, with the fires and the horrible devastation from the fires, and then the smoke that followed the fires. It was just something. It was just something else, just amazing. Um, I haven't seen anything like that since the '89 earthquake. completely separate, different situation, but it's just this whole, like a feeling of like a humming that you feel where like, what is going on? And so the fires, and then the PG&E outages with the wind, there was something else. You know, I love California. I know a lot of you people love California as well, and it's just the state is just taking a beating, and it's such an interesting time. We have a call that I will take right now, and hello, this is Castro Valley News Live. Hello.
Hi, it's Amy. I'm just listening.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll let you go then. Did you want to talk?
No, I just want to know what this is about. I'm just listening.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we're kind of talking about the virus and how it's affecting the schools, and it's in a couple minutes we'll have Alameda County Sheriff Sergeant Ray Kelly call in and give us some information about the ordinance, the shelter in place ordinance, and how the sheriffs are reacting. So, did you yet? I don't want to cut you off. I'm sorry. Do you have a question, or did you want to say
No, I
something? Or
just wanted to listen.
okay, all right. Well, you can listen on the it's a live stream on Facebook.
Okay,
Cool. Thank you.
thanks.
Thank you for calling. So that's cool. There's people calling in advance of me actually giving out the phone number. Um, yeah, this is something that's just it is like out of a movie where our schools are being closed for this for the social distancing for this virus. And I'm just looking at an email that came out from Alameda County Health Department just a couple hours ago. It's basically about the uh, the order that was issued for the shelter at home. Let's see. The shelter at home order follows new data of increasing local transmission of COVID-19, including 258 confirmed cases of COVID-19 with 4 deaths shared by the 7 jurisdictions as of March 15th. So this is a serious situation, and this is it's just it's bizarre, and I think with that said, with it just being kind of a something that we're all dealing with, I think we can come together. I think we're stronger than this, and I think if we work together, we'll get through this. I did want to mention also with this, of course, the schools are closed, and unfortunately, what came out today was Governor Newsom, and this is just the first day of the shelter in place. And Gavin Newsom said just today that he expects that the closure could extend even into the summer. Nearly 99% of the state's schools have closed voluntarily so far. Governor Newsom has requested a waiver from the U.S. Department of Education to pause standardized testing. So we're in the midst of something that is very serious. And like I said, there's a lot of variables that are just unknown because a lot of these places don't have tests. I think a lot of the tests are coming in now, or within the week, hopefully. So we don't know who has. We don't know those numbers of the additional confirmed cases, and I think when that is going to happen, when those additional confirmed cases are known about, I think it may be an even more serious situation. Um, and in reaction to all of this, um, people shopping. I didn't go out into a lot of the crowds. I saw a lot of the lines, and it's. I think I think the grocery store should have kind of came in sooner with some regulations on the amount of things that people per the amount of per item that the per item amount should have been looked at closer by the grocery stores. And I think there was a message that came into the page today. Someone asked if the stores were doing senior hour, allowing the seniors to go in, and there's really there's no stores in Castro Valley doing that. And we reached out to just about every store that I could think of that would be a kind of a go-to for grocery items. Trader Joe's said no. They said they tried it this morning and it didn't go well. So let's leave it at that. The gentleman said it got kind of ugly. Both Safeways are not doing that. They said that their corporate offices have not put the order out to do that. Lucky's is not doing that. The El Rancho, the Mercado across from Trader Joe's is not doing it. Walgreens in the Village is not doing that. What was the other place that I called? I called just about every place that I could think of. So that's not happening. There is on the lighter side, there is a lot of people who are offering to do shopping for seniors and neighbors just in general, and I think that's fantastic. We're seeing a lot of shortage with what's happening. I know I saw Trader Joe's a couple mornings. I think it was this past Sunday, and the line just went completely around the building. It was a sight to see, nothing that I had seen before. There are a lot of people who are commenting on the page that they're going into stores and that all of the shelves are bare. And I understand the panic, because there's, like I said, there's a lot of things that people just don't know. So that really fosters panic. And there's some comments on the information put out about the governor's press conference today about him saying that schools may be closed until summer. So people are not liking hearing that. To his credit, he's being transparent and being honest. There's a lot of things that we're probably not hearing about, and I think that's unfortunate. I wish, just being in the media, I wish that there were more things that could be put out in any news media forum that would be reassuring in some way. However, even the bad news might be reassuring because and I think unfortunately a lot of the panic stemmed from a lot of people just didn't know what was going on. A lot of there wasn't a lot of information coming out. I was constantly looking everywhere, hoping that someone would there would be more information for folks to know. But those variables, the not knowing, really just fosters the panic, and that really was what happened with a lot of the grocery stores. And it's not just in Castro Valley; it's happening everywhere. I know President Trump mentioned something in one of his press conferences that he said, "Please don't hoard," something to that effect. I'm not quoting him directly, but I know he mentioned something about that, and I'm sure there's been other folks that have said things about hoarding, and there's other observations. And you don't really need to go to the store and get 7 packs of toilet paper. If that's what you wish to do, go for it. But think about your neighbor, that your neighbor needs those items just as much as you do, and solves nothing by kind of hoarding and getting all that stuff. I think I just hope we can return to normal soon. Like I said, this is just it's such a weird time. It's such a weird feeling. Did go out earlier, and I saw some people I don't know if there's a lot of people that are actually following the shelter in place. Lots of cars out. The freeway is lighter. I did go out in my car earlier today around 10 o'clock, and there's people walking. There's some people walking with their dogs, and I don't. I'm certain there's just the same amount of people who are taking this serious as maybe people who are not. But I think if we all pitch in and do our part and extremely limit the amount of time that we're out, I think we'll do some good. Um, the social distancing is wonderful. It's what's needed. Like I said, we don't know who has this so far. I'm sure we know people have it. We don't know the breadth of how many people really have it. So please follow that shelter in place order as much as you can. I know it's difficult, and I'm sure a lot of us, myself included, we're getting cabin fever. We want to go do the things that we love to do. It's difficult not being able to go to the library and check out a movie or look at their bookstore, or see your friends that there, or go to what other places are closed? You can't go into Starbucks. You can't hang out at Starbucks because most of the locations are doing, I think, the grab and go or the takeaway. I'm not certain what they're doing, but it's just a tough time. But let's work together to do the social distancing, and hopefully we can stop this thing from spreading anymore to where the regulations could get stronger. I don't know. I hope not. I hope not that we reach a point where it's spread to where we're going to be locked down and then we absolutely can't go out. So use your traveling liberally, conservatively. Excuse me. I shouldn't say that because it's political, but limit the amount of your travels out, and do those necessary things. Going back to the order from the Alameda County Health Officer, the order defines essential activities as necessary for the health and safety of individuals and their families. Essential businesses allowed to operate during the recommended action include healthcare operations, businesses that provide food, shelter, and social services, and other necessities of life for economically disadvantaged or otherwise needy individuals, fresh and non-perishable food retailers, including convenience stores, pharmacies, childcare facilities, gas stations, banks, laundry businesses, and services necessary for maintaining the safety, sanitation, and essential operation of a residence. In addition, healthcare, law, and safety, and essential government functions will continue under the recommended action. And the things that you can do, there's a lot of paragraphs and a lot of interesting verbiage, and I'm hoping Sheriff Sergeant Ray Kelly will call in soon. Let me send him a text here because I want to, maybe he forgot. Just bear with me. Those things that you can do are they're requesting it be your essential travels. Going to the doctor, going to the store. Obviously, you can do it looks like you can do your laundry if they're open. Getting gas. I think it's just a request that you limit it as much as you can. It's not the most convenient thing. It's not what we want, but it looks like it's going to be the temporary norm for a while. Since we're waiting for Ray to call in, is anyone else out there interested in calling and sharing your comments, your concerns about all of those issues, about the school closure, about the shelter in place, about the virus itself, about having your kids at home? What are you guys doing? feel free to give me a ring on the line here. The line is 510-331-9112. There is a mention in the comments of the phone number. And I'll just take a peek here. Someone mentioned Al's Market. Al's Market was not doing the senior hour either. A lot of people, every place that I called, they're just not doing the senior hour. There was a place, and I heard it on the radio. I don't remember exactly where they were, but they're doing an hour in advance, letting the senior citizens and differently abled folks do that. Someone commented that I think Target is doing that too. I don't have that confirmed. I would give them a ring in advance and make sure that they're doing that. Can teenagers still skate at the skate park? I don't think so. I think part of what is involved in the shelter in place, they're requesting that. Oh, hang on. We got Alameda County Sheriff's Ray Kelly here. Hey, Ray.
Hey, Robert. I'm here. I'm with JD Nelson. We just happen to be here after hours because we don't get off at 5 o'clock like everybody else. So.
Especially not on a day like this, right?
How you doing, Robert?
Good. How are you, JD?
Hey, great. How did that video turn out, by the way?
Oh, the video looked great.
Was it good?
Yeah.
Usable?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah. We're just, for those of the people listening, we're talking about some aerial footage that came from Cruise Night last year, and it looks phenomenal.
Oh, good. Are we live now?
Yeah, we're live right now.
Oh, okay. Sorry, we're still working, and lucky I didn't say anything inappropriate.
You don't say anything inappropriate, JD.
I've been known.
So
anyway, so we're here still working. Obviously, we don't get off on time, but we're here. We've had quite a day. Every day feels like it's a week long at this point. A lot has happened, and I know a lot of people in the community feel that way too. But it's been unprecedented times for us, and it's been quite a challenge. Can't say it's just it almost seems like
we're living in a movie.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. It's definitely a different time. So trying to take it all in. We're trying to do our jobs here at the sheriff's office. And in the county, we have a lot of people working at the county diligently, especially in our public health department and adult health care services, and trying to make sure that we're following the guidelines and making sure we're getting the messaging out about it. So it's been a challenge, but things are taking shape, and we were really glad to see the things that we saw today in Castro Valley, in particular, in most portions of the county. People seem to be getting the message and abiding by the guidelines, and that's evident in the amount of people that we see out on the roadway. Some of the nice. We were at some of the stores and seeing people and talking to them, and they're following the social distancing guidelines, which is really more like physical distancing. Actually, we're still staying social and talking to each other, but we're kind of setting those new normals as to proximity with each other. So that's all working. Kind of strange that 3 weeks ago we would meet each other and shake each other's hands. Now we're kind of setting the new social norm that we greet each other a different way. So definitely interesting in that regard.
Yeah, people aren't even elbow bumping anymore.
No, and that's, you're violating the 6 foot proximity, and it's probably not a good idea to do that. So obviously in our families and those of us that have children and dealing with that, we have to interact with each other in a certain way. So, but that's why it's important to follow the guidelines and not go outside of your nucleus of those people that you're spending time with, that are in your home. So you have to kind of keep that in mind when you go out and not get too past the proximity that the guidelines put out.
So can people go, for example, take a run or go for a bike ride, or what's?
Absolutely. Please, we encourage people to do that. Please get out, walk and exercise, ride your bike, take the dog with you. physical health, but mental health. A lot of people in our fast-paced world are not used to living in this way. So this is a lot of us have not slowed down in this way for a long time. And so life has a way of keeping us busy, especially mentally. And so now is a time to focus in on your physical health and your mental health. And so absolutely encouraging people to be out running and jogging. And for those of you that have kids at home, small kids at home, like I have some small kids at home, it is important that we tire them out and keep them active, and that we lead in our families, that we that this is for a lot of the children, and I'm thinking about my own kids who are 9 and 6. We're imprinting them right now. They're really taking in what's going on. I know they have a lot of questions, but parents, grandparents, family members, we got to show our resilience, and that we're leading our families. So we may go to bed at night and feel a certain way, but when we're with the kids, we really got to be strong for them. So I'm encouraging everybody to do that.
I was actually out on the boulevard around 10 o'clock this morning, and I saw quite a few deputies out there, kind of just watching. What are the deputies looking for, and is anybody being cited? What's happening with enforcement?
I am unaware of any citations. As a matter of fact, that's the last resort, is to do something like that. This is a time to educate people, to interact with people, and to educate them on the guidelines in the health order. So I recommend that everybody that's home, that's listening, if they could print up, if they can, a hard copy of those health guidelines and study it. It's about 7 pages, and just kind of know what your role is. Like, I could go into my office and do payroll, or I can check on the equipment at my small business. I can go into my company because I have a vital role in making sure the employee benefits and some other things are done. So let's make sure that people understand the guidelines. People need to go to medical appointments. We were out today talking to a lot of people in Castro Valley and just interacting with them and just checking up on people. So it's actually a good time to do some community policing. People have been very, very nice to us. And 99.9% of everybody will do what's being asked of them. I'm sure we'll run into some situations where we deal with an element of people that don't want to go with that, and we'll deal with that. But people tend to set the norms as to what things are, and we kind of police ourselves, and we do it every day in life, and people set the parameters as to how we all interact with each other, and that's just what we do as human beings. So it's definitely an interesting time, but we're seeing it. We're living through it. So,
can you speak on, or do you know anything about the situation that's happening with the homeless in Castro Valley and in the county?
Yeah, we absolutely are working on that. One of the things we're doing is we've been working not only in our capacity as the sheriff's office, but some of us have been working in a broader component through our Office of Emergency Services. And one of the things we're looking for is housing. We would like to get as many people indoors into safe spaces so that they can have a place to shelter and kind of weather the storm, so to speak. So that's something we're doing. I know that working with the state and the county, they've at least as a start gotten about 500 hotel rooms, and they're starting to place people as they come up. So another thing we're worried about is the county jail. We have about 2,600 people in custody at any given time. Really seen a decline over the last couple of days of people coming into custody. A lot of people were released yesterday on ORs, or own recognizance, and we are worried about a coronavirus case coming into the jail. So there's a lot of concern there. And we stopped all evictions yesterday, and then the court stopped evictions, and then the governor came out and then stopped all evictions in California as well. So that was a good decision, so that people don't have to worry about being kicked out of their homes right now. So there's a lot of serious decisions that are being made by a lot of people from the school district to public health, law enforcement, fire, and our paramedics and EMS. And so a lot of critical decisions are being made, and a lot of people are working late hours, and making decisions that they probably would never had to have made in their careers before.
Right. Are you guys still seeing the same amount of homeless on the street? I mean, out, or some of are some of them actually looking for shelter?
Yeah, so we're proactively going out and meeting with them and trying to get them into shelters. I know in Castro Valley, in as of recent, we've been dealing with the homeless crisis, and our community in Castro Valley has dealt with a lot in regards to that. And so we're here now, out and offering them places to stay and places to go and resources. And so making sure that they have access to all those necessary needs, food, shelter, and all those life necessities.
Yeah, that's a tough one because some of them may not have access to a newspaper or online, and may not know what what's going on with the county and what all the information.
And we kind of act as that nexus, the between our homeless population and kind of what's going on in the county. So we have that ability to go to those folks and talk to them, and they know us, and we see them on a routine basis. So there is a relationship there, and that relationship helps us direct them a certain way. And a lot of them have been very cooperative with us and understanding, and so they get what's going on, and we just want to keep them safe.
Absolutely. Are there any measures that your deputies and staff are taking in reaction to the virus?
Yeah, good question. Thank you. So we got to stay safe and healthy so that we can help and do our work in the community. And so that's a major importance. So we're definitely doing that.
Yeah, we brought that up today at our staff meeting, that if we're going to be out there helping the community, we've got to make sure our own home lives are squared away. So have enough supplies to get you through any kind of a quarantine, and just be ready, because our staff can't go out and they won't be effective if they're worried about their home life.
Exactly. Yeah. Someone asked if teenagers can still skate at the skate park.
So a lot of the parks are still open. I know East Bay Regional Parks went back and forth in regards to the East Bay Regional Parks, which is a big part of Castro Valley community. So we have our park at Lake Chabot, and that will be important in people being able to get out. So the parks are open. When you're if you're a teenager skateboarder, which I used to be at one time, believe it or not, Robert, I wouldn't even try to get on a skateboard at this point. But
Had metal wheels.
Yeah, I had metal wheels. Yeah. So if you're trying to get on your skateboard, fine and dandy, but you got to remember the social distancing guidelines. So we would ask those parents to make sure that they're telling the kids that they can go skate and they can somewhat socialize from a distance. So that's the parks are still open, and probably a good time to visit those places right now.
Absolutely.
So we'll just kind of stay posted. It's definitely been different, but we'll keep everybody updated. I encourage you, follow us on social media. You can follow us on Facebook at the Alameda County Sheriff's Office, Twitter. We do a lot of activity on Twitter. Follow us there, and a little bit of Instagram we like to do to reach out to some of our younger kids out there. So follow us on the social media. And as always, Castro Valley News, you guys have been great being that liaison with the community, and we're very happy to work with you and be partners with you in getting out all of our messaging.
Love working with you guys too. You guys are great.
All right, Robert, unless there's any more questions from anybody out there listening, we're here. People want to contact us, please do. If you got any questions, I think in the coming days, a lot of those questions will be answered. If you go to the public health website, there is a list of frequently asked questions. So if you can avoid a phone call, because we're really tied up with phone calls, if you can see the frequently asked questions and that can answer your question, that'd be great. So,
hey, is your service calls up because of this?
Yesterday when this whole thing kind of came in, the volume of telephone calls that came in was tremendous. It was actually pretty overwhelming. Then it kind of subsided. As far as calls for service, our everyday patrol calls, we have not seen anything out of the norm as far as an increase in that. Actually, it might be the opposite.
Question calls up.
Yeah, but the question and
Yeah.
answer calls, absolutely through the roof. I mean, at every level of the county government, there's a tremendous amount of calls, and that's to be expected. And so that's why we're doing things like Facebook Live with you. We can reach people. They can listen to this now, or they can listen to it later, and that will be helpful to them. But make sure you absolutely can get out and get those essential functions that you need, the grocery shopping, taking yourself or loved ones to medical appointments, going and getting the exercise that you need, getting the kids out so that they can get exercise, and doing all those things. But
Did I lose you?
remember the guidelines and that. So, and that might include you going from your family to another part of your family across town or in another city. And it's not a good time to say, hey, let's get the kids together and all play type thing. We have to practice the disciplines of the social and physical distancing.
And just a lot of common sense, just thinking about that distancing whenever what you're doing, right?
Yeah, you have to like get in that mindset. So it's like muscle memory. So you don't really learn something until you do it hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times. So you have to actually go out and be in that situation a number of series of times before it becomes normal in your mind to do those things. So that's a lot of behavioral changes in a lot of people in a matter of one day. So practice those skills, and as we work through this, and then eventually we're going to have to figure out and go back to normal life, please. I can't wait.
Me too.
For that to happen.
Yeah.
But I think that in doing this and learning from this, we're going to take there will be some good takeaways from this.
Yeah.
And new things will happen, and some good will come from all this bad that
Absolutely.
we're experiencing. And so there will be a lot of young people that go on and be inspired by living through this. And so kind of living through history right now.
I'm sure it's going to make a heck of a movie.
What's that?
I'm sure it's going to make a heck of a movie.
I don't know who's going to play J.D. Nelson in the movie, but we haven't figured that out yet. Rodney Dangerfield is not around anymore. So we'll go with.
Right on.
So and
Tom Hanks.
I would add to the health guidelines, a good sense of humor never hurts.
Absolutely.
So it's important to laugh and be social.
Yep.
And to express ourselves as people. So, right, JD?
Absolutely.
And happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody out there celebrating.
That's what I'm talking about.
If you now's a good time to have a pint of Guinness or a little bit of Jameson if you're into that. If you're not, have a latte. I don't know. But,
great. Well,
anyway, like I said, sense of humor is good for everybody.
Definitely. Thank you so much for calling in, Ray. Thank you for the information. I appreciate it.
All right, and thank you, and thank JD for being on the line with us.
Thank you, JD.
Hey, hang in there, Castro Valley. This too shall pass.
Yeah, it will. Thanks again, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye. So there you go. You got some wonderful information from a couple of sergeants, J.D. Nelson and Ray Kelly with the Alameda County Sheriff's Office. So there you go. It's okay to go, jog. And I mentioned that before, that people were jogging. I stand corrected that it's okay to go do your recreation stuff. It's good for the mind, good for the body. So with that said, if there's anyone else who wants to call in, who has a comment, concern, or an observation about some of the things that we were just talking about, I'm seeing a lot of questions regarding school. And I reached out to the school district, and I was really hoping to have the superintendent on. Her schedule is busy, as you can imagine. Maybe next week we can be lucky enough to have her on here. There's a lot of questions as far as the school questions that I just don't have the answer for. Someone asked if people will be held back. I don't know. I can't imagine that would happen. But like I said, I'll reach out to the superintendent. during the week, and see if maybe we can get her to come on. I think she would be a wonderful source of information for a lot of questions that a lot of people have. So again, the phone number here, if you would like to call in, 510-331-9112. Again, 510-331-9112 if you'd like to call and join the conversation. Let me scroll through the questions here, see if there's anything that I could respond to. The teens on their bikes at the park. Yep. Yeah. Okay, got a call coming in. Hey, you're on Castro Valley News Live.
Yeah, hi there. I just want to thank you guys for what you're doing there. We appreciate, you guys letting the community know what's going on, but we're just concerned about, this virus and the homeless is all. You addressed it a little bit, touched in on it. We live on Grove Way, and we're just, concerned because they're still coming and going, and I know hygiene's paramount, with the virus, so.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I wish I had a solution, and Sheriff Ray Kelly, Sergeant, he mentioned that they're working with them and doing outreach, and like I said, I wish I had a solution for that, because they are, they're exposed and they're in contact with a lot of things. So I appreciate your call.
Oh, thank you guys for what you're doing. Thank you for keeping us informed. Thank you so much.
I appreciate the compliment. Thank you so much. What was your name, sir?
Oh, David Kins. Thank you.
Thanks, Dave. I appreciate it. You stay safe and healthy.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
You as well. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. So yeah, that's one of the first things that crossed my mind when the shelter in place came about was, number one, how will the outreach get to the homeless? How will that information get to the homeless? I'm not trying to say that I see a lot of homeless folks with cell phones, because everybody's got a cell phone these days. So they're probably dialed into what's happening, but there probably are some people who may not be aware of that. And I think the ordinance mentioned for the homeless to find shelter and shelter in place. And I don't know if that's kind of a realistic approach for the homeless in a couple of respects, because they have to find food. They have to they have their needs as well. So it's a tough one. I wish there were a magic wand that we could wave and help those people in need more. But I appreciate the comment and the compliment from that gentleman. Stopping evictions is something that someone mentioned. I apologize if I don't want to miss people's questions or comments. So if you have something that you posted a comment in the thread, feel free to call in. You don't have to give your last name, just mention your first name and we can talk about the topic. The number again is 510-331-9112, and that'll bring you right to the conversation. Just bear with me. I'm trying to see if there's any comments or questions that you guys posted. I don't want to miss them. Jack thanks the sheriffs for their hard work. Like I said, again, I'll reach out to the superintendent of Castro Valley Schools, see if she can come on to the show next week or call in, because there are quite a few questions that would be super appropriate for her to answer that I frankly just don't know. Yeah, the number again is 510-331-9112 if you'd like to ring in and talk. A lot of people comment about no video. There's no video. We're just doing talk. So you just get audio. I think if you saw a video of me and my dog, it would just distract from the conversation, and it wouldn't, you don't want to see me anyways. So again, 510-331-9112. Someone said, let's let the homeless pick up a doggy bag at the restaurants that are going to be throwing away a ton of food. That's a good point. Oh, getting back to no, let's not talk about the video thing. I'm sorry. I know people are used to seeing video when it's live, but I think just the audio thing is appropriate here. Again, 510-331-9112. Don't be bashful. It's not video, it's just your voice. And thanks to all the people who are actually listening. That's awesome. And we're nothing without you. You got, whenever there's something going on in town, you guys are the first to message in, and I really appreciate that. And I also, every show, I'm going to tip my cap to you guys, because this is such a generous and caring community of folks that are just, you know, so quick to step up and help a neighbor in need. And I really appreciate that. And the another thing that I need to mention is this episode is brought to you by Shane at the Castro Valley School of Music. Shane is awesome. If you get a chance, check them out. They have a ton of great music instructors. They moved to Redwood Road. They used to be over by, oh gosh, I'm going to date myself by saying where Pride Vocals bookstore was. They used to be, I think it's Crow Canyon and East Castro Valley Boulevard. They used to be there. They're in the little center that is behind Pizza Hut. It's on Redwood. The address is 20990 Redwood Road. Great folks. They you name it, they do it. They teach it in music. And the owner, Shane Sharkey, local guy, involved in so many things. Super nice. I can't say enough about Shane. I know I've known him for a long time, and he kind of started this out of nowhere. And I believe he started on Lake Chabot Road. But if you're looking for singing lessons, vocal stuff, piano, bass guitar, they do it all there. They've got local instructors. They are good folks. It's Castro Valley School of Music. Thanks for thank you, Shane, for supporting me and Castro Valley News for many years. Like I said, Castro Valley School of Music, go check them out. The phone number here is 510-331-9112. If you want to ring us up and talk about the virus, the school closing, the school closure, the shelter in place. I was pleased to hear Ray Kelly say that we can go out on our bicycles, because that's something that I partake in every day. And the thought of not being able, I know it's kind of a selfish thing that, you know, when people are sick, I'm thinking about going out on my bicycle. But it's just, we're in this position where it's a shelter in place. We're not really being told, we're being asked in kind of a direct way to stay home. But, you know, I thought, I'm not going to be able to go out on my bicycle. And now I feel selfish, and I apologize. But if we all do our part, and we all, you know, stay home as much as we can. And I think really, really key is that social distancing, I think, is just super important. Just be mindful of, you know, washing your hands, and you're supposed to sing happy birthday when you do that. You know, use some disinfectant wipes or spray some Lysol on a napkin and wash off your phone. Just be very mindful of what you're doing, and that social distancing. I think we can definitely, what were they saying on the lower the curve. We can have an impact on this thing and prevent it from spreading it even more than it has already. And we're nearing the hour mark here, so I'm probably going to wind this up unless anybody else wants to call in. I'm looking through the comments and seeing. I don't want to. Someone asked, "Are there any programs where you can volunteer to help the elderly?" If the moderator looks and finds the Meals on Wheels number for Alameda County, we'll post that up. You can probably help by volunteering that way. Yeah, Alyssa just mentioned Meals on Wheels needs help from what they saw on the site. Also, I think if you really wanted to help, the Alameda County Food Bank is having trouble getting volunteers, and I know they help seniors. You can reach out to them. If the moderator will find the Meals on Wheels in San Leandro and also the Alameda County Food Bank numbers, those would be good places to start to help seniors. And, put on a mask and some gloves and talk to your neighbor. If you know of a senior in your neighborhood, touch base with them and see if they need something. And if you can, go to the store and get a couple things for them. The lines, from what I saw this morning, it looked like Safeway was kind of lightening up a little bit. It could have been just the time of day, around 10 o'clock. Didn't look like Trader Joe's was super heavy either. But I think, if we just reach out to the seniors that we know, and maybe they might know some seniors that we don't know, and just ask them, hey, can I go to the store for you? It's tough for them. It's tough for some of them to stand in line for an hour. Some of them have mobility issues and it just can't be done. So our moderator is going to be looking for the Meals on Wheels information for you. They're in San Leandro, and we did a story about them. They're great people. They do tons of meals for seniors who are homebound. These are folks that just can't get out of the house, and they bring nourishing meals to them for basically a nominal fee. And that would be a good source. The Meals on Wheels and the Alameda County Food Bank would be the people who could help you, could help seniors on a local level. Someone is asking if there are any reported cases in Castro Valley. A lot of people have messaged in. I don't know if there's any confirmed cases because the tests aren't really here yet. It's probably safe to say that there probably are, but you can try and call Eden. There's a big rumor going around that there's all these people at Eden Hospital who have it. Because of regulations, they don't give out that information. And my assumption would be, if they're in the hospital, that's where they probably should be, in good hands. We have the state of the art Eden Hospital. They know what they're doing there. So again, we are at 7:54. We're we're close to the hour mark. If nobody else wants to call in, and I'll give you the number again, 510-331-9112. That's the direct line here. Give me a ring if you want to talk about some of these topics, or if you want to express your thoughts on the school closure, the virus, the shelter in place. These are all things that just, like I said before, it's like something in a movie. It doesn't seem real, but it is. And hopefully it'll be something temporary that we can all get together with, we can join together and get through, because we will. This won't last forever. And we'll get back to normal sooner than later, I hope. 510-331-9112. 9112. I will probably wind this up in a couple minutes. And thanks to everyone who listened. Thank you to Alameda County Sheriff's Sergeants, J.D. Nelson and Ray Kelly for the call-in and for all the information. And also thanks to the sheriffs for supporting Cruise Night and supporting our community in so many ways. With that said, somebody said if it was a movie, it would be Stephen King's The Stand. Yeah. With that said, thank you guys for tuning in. We'll probably do this again next Tuesday. Hopefully we could, hopefully by then we'll be in a better position with what's happening, and just stick together and do what you can for your neighbors. And I will wrap this up. I'll give you the number one more time, 510-331-9112. Feel free to call in if you have concerns about the virus, the shelter in place. What else were we talking about? Oh, the school closure. We can talk about that too. I think we have a lot of wonderful staff within every school, and I think it's not the optimal situation for a teacher. It's probably not what they're hoping for to instruct students, but I think it'll work. With that said, let me give one more look through. Oh, Todd, thank you. I appreciate you, Todd Anglin. I appreciate you for your support and everything that you do in the community. Todd Anglin is he's a State Farm agent on Redwood Road. He's also president of the Rotary Club, super involved in a lot of stuff. One of those guys in Castro Valley, just top notch, just great. And there we go. Meals on Wheels of Alameda County, 510-777-956. Their email is info@feedingseniors.org. So if you're looking to help seniors, you can do that. Also, the Alameda County Food Bank is the information is on the thread there if you guys want to help seniors. And again, go in your neighborhood, find a senior and just say hello. This has got to be super, super tough for them because they may have mobility issues, they have different health issues. If they're staying in all day, it gets lonely, and that human interaction is so needed. Just like Sergeant Ray Kelly said, we need that human interaction to keep us sane. I had a buddy who said that he was going to go hiking so he doesn't go bonkers with the shelter in place because he's staying at home. And it's important for us to get out in the outdoors and hopefully maybe see someone across the street and wave hi to keep that mental equilibrium, to maintain that. So with that said, I am at the end of topics and things to say, and definitely at the end of how many times I want to mention the phone number. But I want to thank everyone again for calling in. I want to thank Shane Sharkey, Castro Valley School of Music. They are on Redwood Road. Look him up. Go stop by. He knows tons about music. He's a great guy. He was very instrumental in making Cliff Burton Day happen, and the first event was there. Loves music, loves the community. Shane does a ton of stuff behind the scenes, and like I said, if you're looking for guitar lessons, singing lessons, bass lessons, I think they do drums, piano, they are your go-to place. And I think from what he told me, they're going to be doing some virtual lessons during the time of the shelter in place. So give them a call or look at their website, see what they're doing. And with that said, that is the end of this one. We made it through one day of the shelter in place, guys. We can make it through a whole bunch more. We just got to work together, and we'll get it. We'll be there. We'll get it. It'll happen. Thanks again. Stay safe and healthy.